born Muslim. When I told you it was important to know what it means to be born Muslim. When I was born, when a boy or a girl is born in a Muslim country in a Muslim family, the first thing that happens after they get wiped down and put in their mother's arms is the grandfather or the eldest male of the family comes over. And he bends down and he recites the Islamic testimony or shahada in their ears. And that's it, you're a Muslim. You haven't even opened your eyes and you're a Muslim. And the catch is you can't leave. Islam's like a gang. You get in, you can't get out. You get out, you're dead. Muslims refer to anybody who's not a Muslim as an infidel, non-believer, right? Well, they might dislike the infidels, but they dislike the apostates even more. So a Muslim will like you guys better than me, because there's still a chance with you guys, but I've turned my back on Islam, right? My sin is greater, because I believe and I don't believe it. So this is what happens. Right now, Islam is the largest, they call it the largest growing religion in the world. Right now, there's approximately 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. That's anywhere between 20 to 25% of the world population. They don't tell you that the reason that it's the fastest growing religion in the world is because of their birth rates. Because one thing that has happened in the West, which is predominantly Christian, is the birth rates have dropped. It's the secular ideology, it's the idea of a better quality of life. You know, so parents are actually thinking, they're calculating whether or not to have kids or not. While over there, they're having 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 kids. So their population is exploding. What is being forecasted right now is that by 2040, Muslims would outnumber Christians just by their births alone. Another reason why it's really important with Islam is that Muslims are now coming out here. And Muslims are all over the world stage. When it's in economics, when it's in military stuff, when it's in terrorism stuff. I mean, since 2001, where most of you guys are young enough to have just grown up in the past 14 years. You know, I was already a college student when the 9/11 attacks happened. This whole thing really came up because it was dormant for a long time. Some of you guys are young enough to have, by the time that you guys learned what was going on, Al-Qaeda was around and ISIS was around and Islamic terrorism was a big deal. So now it's become a very big issue, and especially because there's large numbers of Muslims coming out here to the West. Especially, I mean, if you guys study Europe and you see what's happening in Europe, there's some craziness going on there, which we'll touch on later. One of the reasons I'd like to talk to you guys about is, number one, if I was to ask you guys, is Islam a false religion? Almost all of you would put your hands. But if I was to ask why, you might not know. Well, why is it a false religion? So we're going to touch on that a little bit. We're also going to touch on the fact on some aspects of Islam which are not spoken of by the Muslims out here in the West. When you speak to your Muslim friends, when you turn your televisions on, you'll get two views in the West. You'll get the group that says